supposed to be. That wasn't supposed to be blacked out, but then it just was, right?
Every single game.
And they were like, yeah, we couldn't negotiate it in time.
Something.
That's so weird.
Makes me so mad. It's your fucking league. I think we can play live. Oh, yeah, people can definitely.
Oh.
Oh, shit. Joe.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Good thing you didn't pull your own Tom Brenneman bit.
Yeah, right? No.
We're going to make so much bank from those whole 42 YouTube viewers.
Yeah, right? I love it. Send us donations.
Yeah.
If every one of the 42 people sent us $1,000,
Yeah, that's $42,000, dude.
help us retire.
Oh, well, why would they?
Well, we're losing money now. We're losing money as a company.
You need to give some. Yeah, you said congrats.
Nice. There's 10 boys.
You got too horny, and that's why.
I don't want him to come. Jake, how horny does this make you?
Very horny.
Is one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports in all sorts. You see, they know it's never gonna get easy. You see, they know it's Minnesota, constant pain and misery.
And I'm a part of Al Qaeda.
It's 10K TV. It's one big joke. Believe me, Minnesota sports. In all sorts.
Dude, he could turn Daniel Jones into Brett Favre.
Minus the penis pics.
You can legally smoke crack.
What is a DVOA?
I win dicks, vaginas, or ass.
I think that's what it is.
Don't know much except to yell.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of 10K TV presented by 10,000 Takes. My name is Boss Man, joined by... That's what she said.
No. Don't come. Don't come.
It's not going to come.
I'm going to come. Anyway, no, this is the time of year where we have a little strip tease of spring, right? You know, it gets up to 60, 70 degrees like it was like last Friday and even a couple Fridays before that. And then we just get shit on by snow.
Yep.
And it's like the slushy snow. We're kind of in that weird transitionary period where it's just weird, but it is lighter earlier, so
yeah,
that's
and
good.
The Saints are playing again. They're not playing right now, but they were playing this weekend.
Yeah, which just shows...
Packed house.
Which just goes to show, I would be all for the Twins just having the season opener at home in March.
Yeah.
I think they could have the field ready by that.
Or just do what the Gopher baseball team did and play in U.S. Bank Stadium, but don't give up 29 runs.
No, they can do that, and you know, it kind of be a little ode to the Metrodome because it has a similar layout to it, so you kind of get a feel.
Same location.
Same location.
Yeah, the maybe the vibes of 89.
Exactly, 87, 91.
Sorry, 87, 91. That's a bad look on me. I just screwed up the World
Hey,
Series years.
You split the difference.
did.
Yeah, so you're on the right track. But yeah, it would kind of maybe give us it would actually be a true kickoff to the season in a football stadium and where the Metrodome used to be. So I'm all for that.
Right. Well, speaking of sports in Minneapolis, we had the tilt at the Target last night against the Pistons. Fight that broke out. So I do have a genuine question. This goes for the people in the chat. Did we get sentineled there? Do you know what that means? You know, there's the NBA Sentinel page. It's the word central without the R. So there's Sentinel.
Oh, man,
it's a meme page that's very good at photoshopping NBA things, and I feel like they were the ones who created the ejaculated thing, right? Because there's no way that was real.
I don't think this was real. I was watching the game, but I did not see this. Maybe it came up on the screen, but I
don't want to believe it.
That got put on there because that's kind of like a bit we have done where
Right.
we said Anthony Edwards got ejaculated.
Mistakes happen.
Guys get jacked off all the time.
Well, I was thinking if there's like an autocorrect, that means someone's typing in ejaculated a lot in the graphic side at FanDuel Sports Network
it's
or
kind
something
of-
like that. So there's something going on there. There's a correlation.
Anthony Edwards has ejaculated inside of a woman.
Yeah, that's
why
the
he's a
right
dad now.
that's the right terminology for that. In this case, we're talking about ejections, not ejaculations.
Right.
Although that's hilarious, but
So yeah, there was quite a fight that broke out. Looked like Dante DiVincenzo kind of instigated it, but there was some shit talking back and forth. I loved though afterwards. Dane Moore posted a picture of the chairs, and they still were kind of mangled. The ones that the fight broke out into in the courtside seats, because they're like the nice cushioned chairs, and on the backs of them they were still like one had his entire hand around DiVincenzo's junk.
yeah, and maybe that was intentional. I mean,
it's
it's like you want
yeah.
to get into it. I saw the scratch mark on his neck. That was nuts.
Yeah.
But I kind
A
of
horny fight.
it was a little horny fight. Yeah, there was a lot of sexual tension going on in that huddle. But I thought it was hilarious because you kind of felt like like dude, it's early in the game and you end up losing by 15, so that came back to bite you. And that Ron Holland III
Doing something violent in Minnesota. Remember back in 2020 when on a Parade of Homes tour, he pulled a gun on some people who were walking by his house because they thought it was his house.
Yeah.
They thought that his house was the Parade of Homes tour house. So he walked outside with a shotgun, I think.
in that Jim Peterson, I think he's the color guy for the Wolves. He insane to be those people sitting in the front row. And then I saw the guy holding the beer, and Jim Peterson on the broadcast said, "I'm impressed that one guy's still holding his beer."
It became clear that a young fan seated in the front row on the baseline was shaken up during the incident. Finch came up to check on the boy, and then Alex Rodriguez did, which is pretty awesome. So that kid was just minorly involved in the scrap, and he got to meet A-Rod. He got to meet Finch. I would assume that they gave him some autograph stuff after the game.
He gave him a jersey. I think I saw he was holding a jersey during the game.
Yeah.
So they gave him memorabilia and all
And then,
that stuff.
better yet, I don't know if you saw this quote, same article in The Athletic. The boy's father said, "We're a hockey family. We were ready to get into the fight."
Oh, that's great.
So that's all time. Like, I hate this whole argument of like hockey is better than basketball, and hockey people are like we were ready as fans to start fighting players if it came to that.
I was gonna say the guy that was holding the beer, it was impressive that he still had his beer. I think that was, from what it looked like, that was his son. He looked like a hockey guy,
Nice.
just sitting there. He looked like he was smiling, happy. Like some people would be scared to death after that. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't blame them. Like that's intense, I was thinking basketball is the one sport, especially in the NBA, wall and everything. Basketball, you're right there in the action.
I'd
So-
argue golf because you can get hit
Oh,
by the ball.
right,
There's
you're
only
right.
a thin rope.
Yes.
But I would say I'm not sure if there's been any punishments released yet. I know that there were 7 technical fouls that were awarded because of that.
Yeah.
But someone did take a stand and punished a player on the Pistons. So Isaiah Stewart is now banned from Parkway Pizza in Northeast Minneapolis. So
Okay.
they released a statement on X last night saying Isaiah Stewart has been banned from Parkway Pizza. So that's a quick reminder, folks, that your actions do have consequences, and that once again, another quote by John Krasinski on X is that so far the only punishment handed down outside of the 7 technical fouls in the middle of the game is that Isaiah Stewart now has to find a new pizza joint. Means something or has a minor injury, like obviously if he broke a bone or got like knocked out or something, that'd be bad. But if he's like very minorly affected by this was the best thing that could have happened to him.
Do you think real quick? Do you think the person who got puked on at that Browns game got anything? You remember that lady that was puking on the guy in front of her in the
Yes.
seat, the super drunk lady?
I
man.
guarantee they did because I was at a Vikings game back in October, and a guy I went to college with, I ran into him. He was at the guest services desk, and I was like, "What's up, man?" And he goes, "I'm actually on my way down to like the third row." And I'm like, "How? Why?" And he goes, "The lady behind us puked all over our seats, so now I'm getting sent to the front by the team." So
Shout out
dude,
Browns.
here's what we need to do. Allegedly, we need to have someone who this is a drunk guy. He already ran out of the stadium. I don't know where he went, but my seats are covered in puke. I need to get upgraded. This is unfair. And next thing you know, you're sitting. Maybe we wouldn't. That detail would never get disclosed.
No.
All right, let's move on to while we're talking.
At this point, probably not. The way I think they're losing games like 10-0 every game, and can't seem to get anything going. I will say I don't care what you think of Tim Walz. He might have jinxed this organization.
Yeah, he
said
did.
in a
He
tweet,
did say we were going to go 162-0.
It's like that's impossible, but it might have jinxed it. But I mean, it all falls back on the poll lads for just doing absolutely dog shit nothing again for another season. So, and getting our hopes up, thinking we were going to get another ownership group in here.
Right. So that leads me to one of my points. So as Twins fans, here's what we thought was going to happen in the offseason. We thought we were going to sell the team. That didn't happen. With that, we thought we'd be able to bring in more players because of a higher budget by a new ownership group. That didn't happen, kind of a ripple effect. And finally, Marlo loved this one. We thought we were going to be able to watch the Twins on MLB TV. Holy shit. There's a fucking muscle car down on 4th Street that's just distracting my ADHD brain.
On a Monday.
The third thing I was going to say was that we were not going to have blackouts on MLB TV, and everyone got blindsided by that on opening day.
Such a fucking joke. It makes me so goddamn mad. Especially because I got it for free from my like mobile provider. I'm like, sick. I'm gonna
TV where you can select
any
all the
game
games,
you want to
any
watch.
games.
That's
It
like
was
the-
blacked out on there,
Yep,
which is
yep,
stupid.
Yep.
Okay.
Because obviously you deal with that with a lot of different like apps, right? Like
Yeah.
local games being blacked out, but like that was the whole selling point is you can watch whatever game you want.
So what was more blacked out on Friday, Jake? The twin, or I guess this weekend, was it the Twins on MLB TV, or was it you at the Rabbit Hole on Friday night?
I wasn't at Rabbit Hole. I was at Bunkers.
Bunkers, that's where it was. Some
Watching
shitty
some
cover
shitty
band.
cover band. You know, I'd say the Twins, man.
Wow, they were more blacked
They were
out?
more blacked out,
Okay.
and that says a lot, dude. I mean, watching a cover band play In Too Deep by Sum 41, that can really get you going. But man, the Twins, there's something wrong there.
Sox today.
Like 9-0.
Yeah, dude.
Everybody was super optimistic. I was sitting like, whatever. I forgot they were playing it in the afternoon, so I was getting score updates. Oh shit, they're playing, and everybody's like, oh, they'll turn it around. Oh, they'll turn it around against the White Sox, and then all people are saying, oh no, are we the new White Sox?
Yeah, they passed the torch of like the shittiest team in the
Oh man,
in the MLB. Maybe that's probably not the case. I know we're overreacting. It's been 4 games and it's April. It's a long season, but or March. But it is a little scary when usually you see the White Sox in the schedule and you're like, this is a get right game. This is a get right series.
Yes.
We'll steal 3 wins. We're right back in this thing. And you lose that bad to the White Sox. Also, Willie Castro pitched today.
yeah.
Did you guys get to see that? That was kind of fun.
Saw some clips from that. A couple, yeah. It gets bad when you bring in just a position player to
I think
pitch.
the social media team walkied down to Rocco and they're like, hey, we're going to take some heat. Do something funny.
Yeah,
Because
just-
we do something funny because we need to try to bring up the mood here.
And Rocco would actually be, you know what? He might be actually be like, analytically speaking, Willie Castro gives us the best.
Whatever. It's kind of like an old
Yeah,
school
and
picture. They're just like,
he wears like the do-rag under the hat.
It's a unique style.
like this guy could probably,
$425 million in debt.
yeah, that was news to me.
Why would someone want to buy them?
Yeah. I
Why
know.
would you buy a failing business? I'm not surprised now.
Yeah, they're in debt, and well, I don't know, dude. It's
I don't know. Maybe most teams like are.
I don't know. Maybe don't kick people out of seats in the lower level when half of it is empty. You're like they actually didn't. I don't know if they're doing that this year, but they just completely like closed off the upper level, and from selling tickets in April and early May because it was cold, or they wanted to boost attendance numbers or something. I don't know, but
Can't keep us animals out of the cage.
no. So maybe don't be dicks to us, and we won't be dicks to you, and we will go to the games and give you money.
I do have one solution to fix the Twins.
Those, where it looks like a Ticonderoga.
I might
Pencil?
buy my kid one of those for baseball.
Yeah,
Straight up.
the base. Yeah, the yellow bats.
Or how about here's a suggestion for the Twins: sign somebody.
Yeah,
pay a player.
Pay someone. yeah,
Pay a player.
That'd be
Or-
huge.
Yeah, that would be great. But those suggestions work as
it'd
well.
be nice too to have like Royce Lewis playing right now. I know
Yeah.
he's hurt. But shout out to Royce Lewis. He did like our post on Instagram.
Well, Cowboy Jacks.
Yeah, so there,
Getting bombed at Cowboy
there's that trend on social media where you post a picture and then like an outrageous caption of this and something else. We did this and getting bombed at Cowboy Jacks after the game or before the game, however you like to party. And Royce Lewis liked that. So at least he's one of us. He's one of, with the fans. He knows what we do up there.
Yeah, we love to see it. He's a big supporter of the brand. I will say though, I mentioned this before we started recording here. or went live that, they play tomorrow on April Fools. So if the Twins do get their first win tomorrow on April 1st, does it really count?
No.
It's April Fools, man. So April Fools,
The
we're
MLB
just
will
gonna
take
tack
it
it as
away.
yeah.
So all the
April
losers
Fools.
get the win column.
Yeah, right. It's kind of like opposite day.
Cat's
in a way.
calling out Jake for drinking a McGolden Light when there's captain's patch right in front.
Oh well, we're saving this.
Well, actually, blame whoever bought these other drinks and put them in the fridge because we got to get rid of it. It's unconstitutional
Yeah.
to have any other drink of. We're also not going to dump it out because that's alcohol abuse.
This can be kind of a segue, but this was left over from we bought these during the Gopher hockey stream.
Oh yeah, great
right
segue.
before,
Great
so.
segue, Jake. Let's talk about the Gopher hockey team. I'll give you the floor.
Yeah, don't want to spend too much time on it, but I mean, obviously, the Gophers should not have allowed UMass to come back 3-1, but absolute bullshit call. Even if you are like letting them play, for that blatant like miscall to lead to a goal in overtime for the other team to win is just absolutely like horrid to watch.
So what do you say to the haters who say that was a flop or it was a dive? I think was Veach one of those haters?
Can I be straight up? I have an argument against you. I agree with them not blowing the whistle on that one. And you want to know here's my argument. I don't know how deep you want to go into this, but I am of the firm belief that you should never slow things down for any sort of a review. Like obviously you're not going to review the penalty call, right? I believe, especially when it comes to like hits to the head, if you want to see where it looks like a dive. I'm not blowing my fucking whistle whatsoever if I'm a referee in that situation. So I'm always leaning on the side of what it looks like in real time than what it does slowed down. And in real time, I'm not calling that a trip personally myself.
It's just, and I get that, but for it to lead to a goal, like the Gopher, half the team let up thinking there was going to be a
Which
whistle.
is another thing they shouldn't have done.
Which you got to play through the whistle. That's literally
They shouldn't have even have been in overtime.
no. They shouldn't have. They shouldn't have given
There's-
up a 3-1 lead. But they've been so inconsistent all year. I thought they were gonna this run was gonna end against like it's just depressing.
I think if there's a hill for you to die on this one, it should be the one where they wouldn't allow the goaltender to get his pad fixed. And they had to throw
Yeah,
him
that thing was weird.
I thought he was injured.
That's the hill I'm dying on where I'm fucking mad. Because they scored a goal on that backup goaltender immediately.
Yeah, it was a good goal though, but I don't know if Soulier maybe would have made the save or whatnot. That does suck, but this is just so funny because the Gophers were up 3-1 in the national championship game 2 years ago.
Yep.
And it's like, don't
Playing
you
an
learn
East
from
Coast
history?
team.
Like playing an East Coast fucking team. You know what I mean? And I think Zuch was saying it that we were down the year that we went to the national championship, I think we were down 3-1 to UMass and came back and won or something like that. And like, oh, watch them do it to us, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, don't say that.
You can't speak that into existence.
But also Zuch, he is notorious for saying I have a good feeling about this. As soon as I walked
did he
in,
have a good-
he's like, I have a good feeling about this though. I know
Well,
people are
dude,
talking. I'm like, bro,
I told him when we were playing hockey the Sunday before, I was like, yeah, you guys got a tough draw in that division. He goes, I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah.
He's like, and then I was like, so what if you win and you play Western Michigan? I think we can take Western. I'm like, oh, so you're already in the Frozen Four?
Yeah.
And he was basically like, yeah.
well,
Like,
it
dude,
sucks.
You can't ever be sure.
Because we were already talking about. He turns to me like halfway through the second period. We're up 3-1. We're watching the game on Saturday. Tom Reed's
I watched the Rangers on Friday blow a 4-1 lead to the Ducks and lose in overtime. So
Yeah.
anything can happen in sports.
Just with the Gophers. I think I was kind of like, you know what, like maybe this could be the case. I don't know. Oh no, what are you showing him?
We got a phone call.
Realize these have been sitting
Yeah,
up
what-
here and it's kind of dark.
Turn on the lights.
While you're doing that, I'll
Read
throw
it.
this out there.
Is it a
So
Gopher hockey related?
No.
backing up.
Going back to the Twins real quick.
Back to the
So,
Twins. Back that ass.
Just tuning in. Don't want to beat a dead horse. I don't think we have a name here, so I apologize if we don't have your name. I'll just read your phone number out. Just tuning in. Don't want to beat a dead horse. Rocco needs to go. Pole lads need to sell. Until those things get done, the Twins will be cheeks. Nothing exciting about this team, like absolutely nothing. This team cannot stay healthy. That's a fact. Need new blood in the building. I'm bored of this team, and we're 4 games in. Not being dramatic, just being real.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We can run all these coaches out of town every 4 years. It's not going to change anything. I have my problems with Rocco.
Do the Twins consider Ben Johnson now that he's free?
You know, Ben
Or
Johnson,
Brad Berry?
Brad Berry, some of these coaches.
Two guys who have jobs now or who have availability.
Yeah, they're open and they have head coaching experience now. So at this point, you can bring in anybody to the Twins, but we need to fix that ownership style. But
Oh, yeah, by the way, last thing on the Twins that I forgot to mention, apparently Joe Polad came out and said, if we sell, I want to still remain in control of the team.
Go fuck yourself.
we're never winning.
We're so
serious.
fucked. That's like me saying, hey, Jake, I'm going to sell you my truck, but I still...
Twins and everything. Just, I don't think personally I'll ever witness at this point a championship in any capacity in my conscious adult life
we
for
already-
any team I support.
We got here.
I like that.
Well, because like the Gophers, like I'm a Gophers fan, and they won in 02-03. I was a fucking infant.
That doesn't really count if you don't remember it.
And I remember it briefly watching on TV with my dad. My dad was freaking out. We just won. I'm like, what? Like I had just been walking for only 2 years.
You're too busy
of my
thinking
life.
about boogers.
Yeah, boogers and Pokemon and
Yeah.
where's my Game Boy Color?
Yeah.
Like I remember, and I'm starting to play. When they won, I was playing like Might 1 hockey.
Yeah.
I just learned how
I
to
don't
walk
blame
the
you for
prior
saying,
year.
like, I don't really count that.
So it's like in my conscious adult life, being a fan of and knowing the value of championships, I just don't think I'll ever witness one. And Gopher hockey is like when I throw in college on top of my major league teams that I follow, because I do try to loop the Gophers in.
That counts.
Gopher hockey is one I have the highest hopes on, honestly.
Well, and
can do
that's the
something,
closest
and
you've probably ever gotten was
twice.
Quinnipiac.
And Union in 20.
Yeah, yeah.
Quinnipiac and then Union in 2014. So, yeah. And now the Twins, just the pullouts, I still want control. This is just, I don't know. Something's got to click.
I know.
Something's got to budge here one of these years with some team, but it's just,
It felt like the Timberwolves last year, honestly, had a real shot.
yeah. And they still could.
The
but-
Vikings have felt like they had a real shot plenty of times.
Oh yeah, in our lifetime they've
Yeah.
come close, but always come up short and put a spear through our hearts.
Well, let me, Jake, tell you about a solution
Oh no, yes.
to your misery and your heartbreak, folks. It's our beer captain's patch. Jake, just hold one of those up for the folks here, even though Marlo's probably running a graphic. That's fine.
The graphic might.
Just know that Jake's holding one up. We dropped some very big news yesterday that Captain's Patch is now available at Target Field. It's going to be by Gate 34 on the tap wall. It's going to be in cans throughout the stadium. We still got to get a specific location on those, but just know you can get it on tap. Jake, hold it up now.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Yep. Gate right by Gate 34, right by that nice little plaza where you can play bags and get beer on tap and just, you know what? If the Twins are playing like shit, just go over to that plaza, sit in some of those nice chairs, get yourself a Captain's Patch on tap. You can also get it at liquor stores. Just go to captainspatch.com, punch in your zip code. It'll tell you exactly where you can get it. I got it at Total Wine last week in Woodbury. It's in a good location there. So once again, folks, captainspatch.com, 21 plus. Get it at Target Field, opening day this Thursday. And at the X still. You can get it at the X. We'll get to the Wild. That's a whole nother fucking can of worms that we're going to get to. But yeah, actually a positive thing. Zeev Boyum has been just an absolute terrorist in this Frozen Four tournament. Here's some stats for you. In the 2 games they've played so far, 2 goals, 3 assists when they put the dagger into him, which was pretty awesome.
I was gonna say he's like the only good thing coming out of Minnesota hockey over the past weekend, and he's not even playing for Minnesota yet.
No.
But he has been, I mean, we've already seen him playing like when he was playing on the juniors and then Denver throughout the year. But now, obviously, the spotlight is on him. We're watching him more because he's in this tournament. But yeah, I was going to say 5 points over 2 games. He is just a stud. I was going to say, like, I was already thinking going into the tournament, like someone needed to like intentionally sabotage them from winning both of these games. Just to ensure he could have been playing tonight for the Wild.
Right, because
As early
now
as
it's
tonight, maybe.
another week we don't have him.
Yep, and we desperately need all the help we can get. And this is another topic with Krill and Eck being out. We'll get to, but like I'm looking at Bill Guerin. He should have stepped in here and figured something out to have Denver lose. Maybe he still Zeev Boyum could have still had a great outing, but maybe we could have did like some sort of like, remember the old B-Dubs commercials where they would be like, I want this to go to overtime, and they'd press a button and something would happen. I don't know. Figure something out where you I don't know.
Hack the Denver like school system database with grades and stuff, and give him all Fs so that he's academically not allowed to play.
Yes.
And then at that point, he's like, well, if I can't play in the Frozen Four because my grades are so bad, I might as well just go pro.
Or put somehow,
Because that hasn't happened.
number 1 overall seed,
Yeah.
correct? So, and they were the 3 seed. They beat
handled
Providence.
them
Providence
with
was good.
ease, too.
Yes, he was good. They were good, dude.
Fucking good dude.
So yeah, they weren't the highest seed by any means. They could have easily lost in that first round game. So they're on a tear and they might win.
they're gonna win it again, I think.
Dude, they've won. So they won last year, and I think they won 2 years prior to that, if I'm not mistaken. So if I'm not wrong, if they win again, which I think they could at this point, Denver is absolutely dominating college hockey.
I know, it makes me think of being like a North Dakota fan. How did we get here? How are they, not that like, and nothing against Denver, but how, are we seeing a Frozen Four without the Gophers, without North of obviously your BU BC. It's weird. It just sucks.
Well,
North Dakota didn't even make the tournament, which
No.
is more embarrassing.
They didn't, and I was cheering against them, though, but
Well, I know we're. You got anything else on Zeev? I'm just excited, man. I mean, if you even look at what Brock Faber did when he joined, the team a couple of years ago, and then just played flawlessly against Dallas, like I don't doubt that Zeev Boyum is going to have the same effect. And like I mentioned before, dude, the John Merrill apology tour continues. He's having a pretty good year. He scored his second goal
On
Washington,
Thursday.
maybe Thursday.
that was Thursday, yeah, and then we played.
Yeah, and John Merrill scored. He's
Yep.
he's been pretty solid. So we'll get, like I said, we'll get to the Wild later. We're not gonna be negative yet. We're excited for Zeev, but let's move into something else. A little football talk, a little ball talk. Apparently, momentum is growing to ban the tush push. I saw that Sean McNeil. You have coaches like D'Amico Ryan in Houston, who was just like, if you can't beat it, then like be better. They're just better. You're mad that they're better than you at something.
Yeah, but it's just like saying, like, if you did, to me, it is getting to a point of cheating. It's almost getting to the point where, going off that logic, it's almost like saying, well, if a guy's playing off sides, well, then find a way to play against it or something, which is a disadvantage. I think it's a disadvantage. And this might be one of the only things I'll ever agree on with Green Bay, because I think they're the team that proposed this ban.
Yeah.
And I guess I wrote it down. So it's getting heavy traction in the NFL competition committee, which I think is one who has a lot of influence on changing rules and making rule changes and whatnot in the NFL. But I just will say, like, watch out, Eagles fans. You may never see your team ever win a game again.
Yeah.
Because that's, man, they're obviously a good team. They won the Super Bowl, whatever. But, like,
Push is one NFL story happening right now. Do you know what the other one is? Because it's pretty funny.
I don't know. No.
Okay, so okay, this is the real guy. This is the real insider. NFL executive Peter O'Reilly said today that the league is exploring the possibility of a regular season game. Quote tweets
Okay.
that and says, wants to ban the tush push for reasons of player safety. Desire an 18th game on the schedule and play games in the Middle East. This is the same league we're talking about.
Oh, my gosh.
Real.
You want to get rid of the tush push, just play all games in Qatar.
We're talking about a country where it's illegal to be gay.
Yeah. Or be a woman, practically. Seriously.
Or
but
hold
no,
hands
man.
with a
but-
woman.
But no, we got to start playing with guardian
yeah,
caps.
party and caps want to protect the head, but let's play in a place
Well,
where
we're
they
not
behead
gonna
people.
we're not gonna protect their heads.
Yeah.
Holy.
Goodness gracious.
We're gonna bully you relentlessly.
This is
No,
a new
instead
jurisdiction.
Instead, we're giving everyone swords.
Yep.
It's gonna be a new spin on the NFL.
Football and
sorry,
Sarge.
Jarrett Smith came through. NFL coaches are soft for wanting to ban the tush push. Tough nuts. Deal with it.
It
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of
know.
bothers
They
me.
have been Christmas
Oh, yeah.
last year, and the
Oh,
Vikings tried the tush push 6 times in a row with Nick Mullins, and
Well,
it failed every single time.
Yeah. I'm not upset about that. That was just bad execution. That's just Vikings football. What was it? Was it in the playoff game with the Eagles where they kept doing it over and over and over again near the goal line and they couldn't?
Yeah.
And
Which I didn't know that's a rule where if you continually commit a penalty on what seems like purpose, they can just give you a touchdown.
yeah, because I think they were playing Washington and they kept
The guy
trying
kept
to-
jumping the line.
Well, because for them to beat the tush push, they would have to get some sort of jump.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, that could be for any play that close to the goal line. But the refs couldn't. They literally couldn't get closer to the end zone. They kept trying to get half the distance to the goal, but it was now inch, millimeter, half a millimeter. So,
Dude, do you remember like the Legion of, was it the Legion of Boom is what they called them?
I was just
commercials.
yeah.
But you remember Cam Chancellor? He used to like hop the line
oh yeah.
during like on extra points, and he used to like tackle the kicker.
Oh yeah.
I
Well,
think they banned jumping over the
Yeah.
center.
For sure,
did.
because of him. He used
Yeah.
to do shit like that all the time.
They're
Find
no
ways
one's
around
gonna
it.
do-
Awesome.
Troy's not around anymore. Paul Mullen, no one's gonna do this again. And then Chancellor would do it. And they're like, oh fuck, we got
Other
to.
psycho
Oh,
shows
no.
up. And this graphic of Rocco.
the Twins have been eliminated, and it's a picture of Rocco
I've
Baldelli.
seen it like maybe 10 times today, and I laugh out loud every time. He
man.
looks so sad in the
I know.
photo.
But it's perfect. You're gonna expect these memes to come out. It helps us deal with it
Right.
until they start
You
winning.
know what? Parkway
maybe.
Pizza should ban Rocco Baldelli
Yeah.
until a change is made.
You know, someone's got to make a statement. You know, Parkway Pizza was the first one to make a statement. Maybe you'll turn it around.
Yeah. All right.
Figure
Let's
it out.
let's move on to hockey, to New York. And I thought at first I was like, that's really good. That means he's going to be practicing with the team regularly and stuff, which he has been doing. But after reading into Russo's article, he literally just went on that trip because his doctor is in New York.
Yeah.
So it wasn't as exciting as I thought when I saw him getting on the plane. I was like, holy shit, is he going to play?
Yeah, so I thought almost the same thing, but then every article I saw was he's skating again, which is great. And I'm like, oh shit, are we gonna get an announcement? Like, did the Wild like reveal something? Because I didn't see anything. But no, that's news to me that his doctor's out there. But then again, maybe it's beneficial then. So he's going out and seeing the doctor,
Yeah, and
whatever.
he's around the fellas, so, you know.
Around the team camaraderie.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll help him heal a little quicker. I don't know. But then X skating too, right?
Yeah, so actually our good friend Connor Beaupre, who's the Minnesota Wild's e-bug, he practices with the team. He was at practice on Friday, and he's like, dude, Kirill looks just fine.
Yeah.
Like, obviously for them, it's very different from like just fine and ready to play in a game where you're going to get hit and you're going to be going 200% all the time. But according to him and Russo, they both look pretty good in practice. So I don't doubt that they'll be ready by playoffs, but then again, like, you just wonder about that rust that comes with not playing. I mean, Kirill hasn't played since a few days after Christmas.
Yeah, or
into
January. Oh.
And you can do all the practices and strength trainings and stuff, full scale NHL game in 3 months.
Yeah, they were fine without them for a little bit, and then it just like last year, they played fine without some of these guys being gone, but it's just really hitting them now. It's just, you can really see them not being in the lineup, how it's just impacting them, and they need these guys out on the ice because it's so bad.
I also have this hilarious ongoing bit with Jesse Pierce of Bar Down Beauties, who's an insider for the Wild, and I've seen people on Twitter legitimately blaming the medical staff and the training staff for all the injuries. So now I'm joining in on that, and anytime Jesse tweets something about an injury, I'm like, the seat just got hotter for the team doctors. Like,
Yeah.
it's their fault. So by the way, if you're looking for a way to piss off Jesse, just start commenting under all of her Wild updates that it's the doctor's fault. Yeah. Because that's what I'm doing.
The doctor, and we can start blaming, like, if they lose games in overtime, just on the doctor.
And
not
my
even
friend,
coach.
and my buddies who are fans of other NHL teams, I'm going to start saying,
College basketball and the
Yeah.
Gophers, like, we didn't have the money or NIL. You guys just had the more money to pay the better doctor.
Right.
We had the doctor that came out of I don't know, Gustavus Adolphus College, or you got the doctor that came out of Harvard. I don't
Right.
know.
Timu has been pretty popular. We might have got him Timu.
we got a Timu doctor. He showed up in a shipping
Yeah,
container.
exactly.
Across-
we
across
got,
the
we got a
ocean.
Timu or whatever Wish doctor.
Wish.com doctor.
He graduated from Walgreens University or something like that. I don't know, but
Took a few YouTube classes and is like, Kirill, get over here.
yeah, I can figure this out.
I will fix you.
I got tape. I can try to tape your ankle, even though I don't think you have an ankle injury, but I can see what I can do. Work my magic.
It would have been really funny if Kirill went to Russian doctor.
Oh gosh, that'd be so
Russian
fun.
doctor fix you.
But then if you went over to Russia, there'd be some whole passport issue. Yeah,
Oh.
Kirill's been healed for 2 weeks, but he can't get back over to the U.S.
They'd stick his ass in a tank.
Yeah.
100%. That'd be bad.
They'd be like, "You are fighting for the country. Leave war."
You ever
It's
seen the
just
movie Fury? Yeah, he's doing that now.
His reason for for absence, war.
All right, let's talk a little golf. I know we won't be talking too much about golf until this summer a lot more, but with the Masters coming up in a few weeks, my guy Minwoo Lee got his first W. What they call him on tour, the chef, because he always says let him cook. He says let him cook. I thought this was really funny because I don't know if you saw the end of the tournament, but he had about I'd say like a 6-inch putt. They usually mark that so that they're the last ones who get to make the putt and celebrate. and putts where they stand in a super wide stance between the ball and the hole, and they like put out their finger. There's some math equation they do in their head to determine who are all standing over their ball at the same time doing it. It's just the funniest looking thing ever. So yeah, Minwoo Lee had a tap in putt, and he stood over a playoff with Minwoo, because if Minwoo would have made bogey on that hole, they would have tied and gone to a playoff. So Scotty's sitting there intensely watching the TV.
I've noticed that. Is that like a new thing this year?
As of like it started
couple years?
coming up like last few years, yeah.
Even though statistically, I want to know the statistics of players who do it more often than not to see if it's actually sinking in harder putts. That's a whole other study that we don't need to get into. But thing, or the let him cook. Like apparently that's in reference to like he's referencing Call of Duty. I don't know if you saw that.
Really?
He's referencing Call of Duty.
Sound much like let him cook.
Yeah.
Let him cook.
Yep.
Let him cook, and then it's just some ridiculous highlight reel or something.
Right. So I think that's in trend.
No doubt.
Him and Kyler Murray are big. They got to be big COD buddies.
Yeah.
On Call of Duty, but
They're both running a squad on Warzone.
but good. But like you mentioned, he just seems like such a cool dude that deserves everything in the world when it comes to golf. So
I also wrote this one down for Marlo. Your guy Gary Woodland had his best finish since having brain surgery. He finished T2 yesterday.
Oh, dude.
Almost broke the course record.
That's amazing. I kept this one quiet, but I cried so much at the newest season of Full Swing that like I swear like 4 episodes just bawled.
So if you haven't seen Full Swing on Netflix, it's this documentary covering the PGA Tour, and Gary Woodland had a basically like a lesion on his brain and he wrote his daughter's letters in the event that like he wasn't going to come out of it alive. I know, right? It was really emotional, but better yet, he made a full recovery and
played at the Masters.
Yep. And he played his best round or his best weekend since having that surgery. Yeah, like I said, he took second. So
That
went for the good guys this weekend.
I haven't seen that Full Swing, and I probably should expect to cry. But I remember they brought that up last year and during the Masters. The announcers talked about that, and they mentioned that in the letters, and then he went off. And it wasn't that it would be one thing for him to just be there playing in the Masters, and he could finish last, and that's an inspirational story. And he just, to do what he did is just absolutely insane. Like, I almost got to turn my eye to that. Like, dude, this is one of the, if not the toughest game to be consistent at in the world. And for you to win a major like that and going through the shit you're going through, and it's just, it's awesome. Like, so I need to watch the newest season. I can't believe I haven't.
It's like any of those documentaries, like Drive to Survive.
Yeah.
There's the NHL one on Amazon Prime. Like it's just interesting to see what goes into that sport because, you know, as fans, it's very, but they're giving it their all. So.
And you got to think like the pressure on them, not only to like sink putts and play well, like that's their job. They don't have like a full-time job that we all have to sit back on and get a paycheck every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like if they're not doing well on that shit,
They're not making money.
They're not making money, and then if they completely they're not good at it, they're consistently bad at it, and they completely check out of it. Like they need to try to find a way to make money in the real world.
Right.
And that's terrifying.
Like
you know what I
sucking
mean?
dick.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe I have to do that. Sucking cock. Sucking cock and banging. Oh, no.
Good way to bring him back.
One.
I like Vinny.
Vinny.
Folks, we sell a lot of awesome merch. We got Marlo here. He's always cooking up, just like Minwoo Lee, some awesome design there. Timberwolves, Wild. As you can see in this ad, some Frost stuff. And, we have pillows on. They're going to be coming on there once we make a video promoting them. But all sorts of cool stuff on there. Once again, 10ktakesmn.com. Check out all the awesome merch in our shop. And it supports us. All right, let's move on. A while to figure out what they wanted to upgrade. Like, every news story I read just said upgrades. And I'm like, okay, what are upgrades? Like, is it where you just press a button on NHL GM mode and it just fixes the bathrooms? Like,
Yep.
What did they mean by upgrades? So the total estimated cost for the project is $769 million. The Minnesota Wild, St. Paul, and Ramsey County plan to cover about half the costs, with the city and the Wild seeking approximately $397 million from the state. Projected benefits. The renovations are projected to boost downtown spending by an estimated $110 million and create approximately 2,300 union construction jobs. I just love how they just throw out like a number that they think it's going to help make.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know how we know that.
Investors, possibly.
Yeah, right.
Here's the specified upgrades. Once again, this is Google AI, so I'm not sure how accurate this is. But the project includes updates to the arena's HVAC systems, security, accessibility, seating, make new bars and restaurants down there.
Yet,
Like there's new bars and restaurants that open down there.
yeah, so I don't know what they mean by that because they're like Smorgies were that. I don't know. I know that I didn't know. I was trying to read through and find what the
Yeah,
exact
it's
upgrades
impossible
were.
to figure out what they just kept saying upgrades. I'm like, what does
Upgrades?
upgrades mean?
Yeah, so and I looked at some of the renderings. It looks like they have like a roof. They're gonna build like a rooftop that's facing West 7th out on the Xcel Energy Center.
Okay.
So like I don't know if that's just for club level or whatever, but it looks like they have like a rooftop area, like
So these
outdoor
bars
area.
and restaurants are going to be in the stadium.
That's what it has to be. I
Okay.
feel like maybe more bars inside the stadium and whatnot, accessible to the public. Because I don't know unless they.
Apartment buildings like above truck park and above all that else. They got a couple levels. Just start making multi-level bars. Or
tenants.
drinks. Let's just make
Yeah.
it just like Nashville.
Yeah, I think they mentioned too something with these renovations, like the River Center and Roy Wilkins, and
Yeah, they're part of it too.
potentially building. They said another apartment and hotel
Okay.
or something. So maybe there is space somewhere for it, and they will put more bars under those. I don't know.
Championship to take over and
Just take it over and get active.
get after it.
Yeah, get wild.
Take my money. I mean, I'll be my taxes will go to it. Take my money. We had in the 10K Discord chat, Tyrus recommend an absolute all-time terrible suggestion of them building a new stadium downtown Minneapolis that the Wolves and Wild will both share.
No.
I'm sorry, Tyrus, terrible idea.
No.
Don't do that.
That's horrible. That would be crazy. We can open up tailgating.
I'm saying we
Let's
can
do
tailgate
it.
basketball games, dude.
Like the Loring Park side of Minneapolis, I guess. It's over in that side, like a little
the
outside of
tunnel.
North Loop, more towards the like other side of North Loop or something.
Golf in Woodbury. By the
Yeah.
way, that's
Yeah.
apparently already halfway done.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
I drive by it every day.
That
It's
fucking
awesome.
rocks,
So
dude.
stoked.
Now that we don't
They haven't built one yet. They were supposed to build one in like Egan area, right?
Yeah.
Before COVID, and then that got shut down. And then I'm surprised they didn't start building one till now, but
right.
makes sense. But yeah, I'm all for renovations. I saw like an article too that was like saying that like the Xcel Energy Center's like lifespan is 25 years.
Yeah.
And it's weird to
been
think about.
25 years.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, I remember going to this arena when I was like, it was only 3 years old. You
Yeah.
know, like that's crazy that it's been that. Like, oh yeah, shit, it has been. Yeah,
It's like we're talking about upgrading the stadium here.
yeah, we're not talking about the team history.
That's a different department.
Not talking about.
You
the
need to
whole
text Bill Guerin and
architectural
just say
side.
like, do you control the upgrades to the stadium?
yeah, 'cause in GM mode in NHL, I do.
Then send him a screenshot of that. Be like, is this what your controller looks like?
Yeah.
'Cause this is what mine looks like.
I can click auto assign budget for marketing and upgrades.
Yeah.
So
More bobbleheads.
yeah, right.
Less renovations.
We should give them suggestions on how they can raise more money. Like one thing I wrote down was like we could just sell a shit ton of crack to the fellas that hang around downtown St.
Yeah.
Paul.
The friends of the ballpark.
Yeah, they'll hand over money. So whatever money they
Absolutely.
have. I mean, we'd honestly be feeling addiction and potential death. But
Oh no, we'd end up like they did in It's Always Sunny, and we would eventually get addicted to crack.
oh yeah, dude. Oh, we would. Oh yeah, and then we'd start selling gasoline.
Yep.
Like
Start
they do in Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Like how are you counting it? I'm just counting as it goes in. I'm counting it.
Talk about March Madness right now because it has been the furthest thing from madness. The first time, and fuck, Marley, you told me to look up the stat, and I didn't.
2008, 2007. with
Okay,
all
that's the
number one
first time
seeds.
it's been since it's been all one seeds. That's boring.
Yeah.
As a casual basketball fan, this is not how you retain me.
No. People are saying this is one of the most electric Final Fours. Yeah, all these number one seeds are great. They're fun. They're
good teams.
They're great teams. But we want to see those Cinderella stories. Those teams making a run. And I thought we were going to see maybe a couple 6 seeds. Like I wanted to see the Fighting Mormons into the Final
Right.
Four. BYU or Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Was almost beat Michigan State. I thought they were going to beat Michigan State Friday night. But it's just all one seeds. And that's great. You have the best of the best in the national semifinals. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of upsets this year or anything like that. So it wasn't as great as it could have been.
Yeah. So do you have any suggestions on how March Madness or college basketball could be better?
Yeah, so I have one major suggestion here and this is depicted in a skit. So I didn't fully come up with this idea, but it was depicted in a skit from The Onion. Search the join.
Get Winona State in there.
Yeah, like they mentioned in the skit, but Winona State, you got Arkansas Tech, Emporia State, and you can't forget any technical college, Inver Hills, Normandale.
What is it? get your degree.
Sell
Set
your
yourself free.
National American University.
They could make a run.
Let's expand it. You know, like there would be, I guess, from a mathematical standpoint, there would be 537 versus 538 seed.
Duke has to play like basically a high school.
The 1 versus like 800 seed. Yeah, I think in that skit though, I have to look it up where they're like, yeah, the Los Angeles school of trucking, they didn't make the tournament because they didn't file their certification to get into the tournament in time, so they missed out. They could have actually made a run, man.
Some jail teams in there. It's almost like in Key and Peele where it's like
yeah.
Louisiana State Penitentiary.
Yeah, penitentiary.
Start allowing prisons.
Let's do it.
Let's not even do a regular season. What's the point of a regular season when everyone just cares about March?
Yeah, you could start it in November and just have a big ass Division I, make it all one division, and
Yeah.
just make it all one big thing. That's one way to just make everything better.
I had that like similar to a keeper league in fantasy football. Each team only gets 2 good players that they can keep. Otherwise, there's just a draft every year.
Every year, yeah. That would help the NIL stuff from going on. They think this is happening because of the NIL and it's easy to transfer and all that. So
I also have that they should allow a deadline. Like Duke, like what if Duke could load up and like get like
Another white guy.
yeah, like
Another
another
Cooper
really
Flag.
good player who just didn't pan out for his own team because he was the only good player. Like what if they were able to get him right before the tournament? And you're like, oh shit, this guy just hit the transfer portal in February.
yeah, there's a transfer deadline.
Yeah.
Exactly what it is.
That
February
would fucking
15th.
rock, dude. If we're just gonna go all out with the transfer portal and NIL, let's start doing it in season 2. Let's make it real. Let's just get weird with it.
If it's already this lenient, yeah, might as well. I remember like growing up watching college basketball to transfer, like you had to file all these waivers and you had to sit out a year.
Right.
Depending on when you transferred. Sometimes you could maybe play right away if you transferred early enough, but you had to go through a waiver and appeal process with the NCAA. Now you can just transfer everywhere you want willy-nilly.
Should be able to do it.
All right, I'm gonna send. It's just like NHL or recruiting in college basketball. You just send them like elements of like championship prestige or power in your school or whatever. Sending them social media DMs. It gives them points and all that. And you can. And there's like a perks part of it where
Yeah.
it's like
And then for NIL that you can pay your future players.
yeah, exactly. Get that NIL money and you
That shit, white boy? That's a good idea.
You give NIL money to their NIL fund,
Right.
and vice versa.
Start moving money.
If it's already this open and lenient as it is, I mean, I think that'd be a fantastic idea. Expand the tournament and open the transfer portal, and it would be like just all out
Chaos.
chaos, and
Which is
war,
March Madness.
which is March Madness, but it'll almost be all year round now at this
Right.
point. It's not just 1 month over a course of 3 weeks.
Yeah.
We get what we want for 4 or 5 months.
Annual madness.
I love it.
All right, let's close out the show with just some wild hockey jerseys. This is obviously a pun, but there's just been some very interesting choice of wear at Wild Games. The first one that I wanted to point out is an Ovechkin jersey someone wore at the game on Thursday night. I need to find it. Of course, I didn't have it ready. It says,
I think it's
yeah.
erection for Ovechkin.
"Yep, erection for Ovechkin," and it's like on the screen. You guys can picture exactly what this dude probably looks like. But we had that, and then we had the guy wearing the custom Adidas reverse retro jersey. That's number 96, and the last name is Dyslexic.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
One
'cause
off of
69,
Kirill.
right? When 96
Or
well,
one off of like a Kirill Kaprizov jersey. Like, I'm dyslexic, I got the wrong number.
But also, I'm thinking it's like 69 though too, or is that maybe what he's
could
going
be.
for?
That
Because
was
it's
what the joke was.
96.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, I got
Yeah.
one off of
Yeah.
Kirill.
Right? No,
Definitely a 69 joke.
69 joke. Although I'm just upset that he just didn't do a full on 69 jersey like
I know.
Shorzy. So, but no, yeah. I mean, the dyslexic. I know that too. It's still fun to see the classic Dumba 55
Yep.
because it's like dumbass.
Mass.
D'Angelo or Tony D'Angelo, yeah, the equipment manager, he did it because he thought it was funny.
Okay,
because
so I-
rookies couldn't pick their
Okay.
number, and so D'Angelo.
I heard that someone did it on purpose. I thought Dumba said they liked it, but that makes sense because he
Dude,
changed
if,
it to 24.
if that's your choice, if that's up to you as an equipment manager, that's like an all-time power trip
Yeah.
type decision that
well,
I kind of want to change my career path now and become an NHL equipment manager just so I can pick numbers for rookies. Because I'm going to pick the most ridiculous one. Like,
everybody gets it in the 50s.
give the tiniest kid like 94, and then Just give someone 69. Give the funniest guy 69.
Or fuck with the goalies and just give a player a number 1.
Yeah.
Give a goalie like 18 or something.
Yeah. Well, you can't do that as a Wild fan because
No.
number 1's retired, Jake.
Number retired to the fans.
Who on the roster, to wrap this up, who on the roster are you giving 69 to currently? Current roster.
Ooh.
Wow.
I would say Midzi feels like a 69 guy.
Well,
Foligno.
There's an obvious
Well-
choice, and it's Devin Shore because
It's close to Shorzy.
Shorezy's last name
Yeah.
is Shore.
That would
But
be fitting.
if you're talking like we're thinking about the future, then I think Midzi is got the personality of a 69, especially because he's got the porn stash to go with it.
He's got everything going for him. I thought that there's someone else on the team. I got to look up.
Merrill would be a good one too, because his redeeming factor could be that he wears 69. Like if you hate him, it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, but at least he wears 69.
But
That's
that guy's
kinda
got to
funny.
be funny because he wears 69. Like I said, Devin Shore is the most obvious choice, but best
brawls, but-
if we had a goalie who was just a fucking weirdo as,
Oh,
like
yeah.
as our second goalie. Once
Missed opportunity for Ilya Bryzgalov to
I was
rock
about
it.
to say that.
Rock
We were about
69.
10 years off from that.
that would have added to it, been like, oh, you know what? He's just fucking weird, but he wears 69, so it's fine.
Oh, he would have been all for that too. He'd be like, give me the 69. The universe is so humongous big. I want the humongous number.
Yeah,
Oh man, that'd be great. Ilya Bryzgalov would just forever be a
Legend.
legend in Minnesota Wild lore.
yeah.
I love it.
I think that just about does it, boys. Anything else?
No, the Wild are down 2-1.
Fuck.
So yeah,
Okay.
that's fun for them with 5:46 remaining in the third period. So
One more full week until the Masters for all you dimple heads out there. I know
Yeah,
we've
oh,
already
yeah.
hit on golf a little bit.
Masters.
show, but it's still fucking cold out.
it is. It's just a 2-bit. I mean, we could just risk and go out there and do it if we really want to, but
Yeah.
just miserable, like we said, and yeah, you could break your wrist on the ground.
Courses will
honestly,
still
which is
charge you like $70 on a Friday to play 18 holes.
$9 for a transfusion.
Playing off concrete
This is just
and getting frostbite.
like this
Not
fairway.
frostbite, but-
Yeah, this fairway is so hard. It's like fucking up my golf shoes.
Yeah.
you know, like it's that bad. So, but we're close.
Shaft on your club bends
Yeah.
because you're just hitting it off a trampoline.
And God knows I can't risk another club going to hell right now. I lost
Right.
my 7-iron last year.
Right.
Rest in peace.
But all right, folks, that just about does it for another episode of 10K TV. Make sure to go to 10ktakesmn.com, check out the shop. And if you're going to opening day for the Twins, hit us up. Get a captain's patch by gate 34 and in cans throughout the stadium. And hit us up if you're going to be there.
Well, yeah, and too, do we want to mention we're going to be at the Galley on Friday?
Holy shit, I forgot
Yeah,
to
I
mention
forgot about that too.
The Galley in North Loop, Friday starting at 4. We're going to be drinking Captain's Patch, giving out samples for those who haven't had it, and just having a general good time.
I think it technically goes from 4 to 7, but people will be there till
Yeah, we'll go to Rabbit Hole.
Yeah, we'll go to yeah, we'll go to Jackson's Hall.
Yeah. We'll hit up all the holes.
Yeah, we'll hit up everything. Yeah, we'll go to
All the holes. All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Now there's a competition for holes in North Loop.
Yeah.
Now the Rabbit Hole came up.